Heard you.
Boom shakalaka,
Yo.
you already know the vibrate. It's KvN. Who run the city? It's tea time. It's Big Fan Breezy. It is, what is it? Wednesday? It's Wednesday. We here. You know, I guess special edition type shit. But we in the building. Yeah, you know, we here. Michael on the scheme. We see you, good brother. You know, we here. Last night, blockbuster trade, Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic and 5 first rounders and a second rounder. Big Fan Breezy, talk to me, Playboy.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you like this, Mikal Bridges. I'm glad you're off the team. You didn't do shit for us, but let the Knicks tie the fucking record, and that was partly because of you. It was all your fault. You was intentional in helping them win. You was missing game winners when it was up to you to beat the Knicks. The one time we had the chance to beat the Knicks, which was the first game when you got here, you blew that, and then the entire time you act like you just wanted them to win, and now it came true. And don't make it seem like it wasn't you that asked for the trade. It was you that asked for the trade. I call canoodling. I call tampering. I call any type of wrong fraternization between co-workers that exists between Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. I mean, they put it right in our face. They started making commercials. Nobody should be surprised. It's disgusting. I don't like it. He never repped the city the way he was supposed to. He was playing soft, and he was making us look like we was supposed to step back and watch him work. Watch him do what? He wasn't shit. He ain't had no handle. He couldn't create. He ain't do nothing but take Cam Thomas minutes and opportunity last season. He should have never had it. He can never go to another team in the NBA and be a number one guy. Fuck that. Cam Johnson, ain't no way you staying here. You shouldn't get comfortable. You should pack your motherfucking bags and ask which closer, LaGuardia or JFK. It's a wrap. Y'all shouldn't have been here. All y'all did was halt my guy opportunity to be the number one guy for one season, and it's, again, like I said, and you feel different, then tweet me about it. Y'all can't go nowhere else and be a number 1 and 2. Facts. Y'all came over here and y'all ain't show no appreciation. Y'all just came over here and look bad. Y'all, the brand of basketball y'all was representing. I played Brooklyn basketball my entire life, and I represent better Brooklyn basketball than that. That shit was terrible. I'm glad he got traded. Fuck out of here. You made us look bad the entire time. Peace. I'm done.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious that you're trying to blame the failures on your team on Mikal Bridges when all the blame should go on the front office and the moves that they made. In the coaching staff, like the front office, because it's the coach's fault why Mikal Bridges got the number 1 option over Cam Thomas. Mikal Bridges wasn't no number 1 in Phoenix. The coach made him the number 1 option here in Brooklyn. The coach decided not to play Cam Thomas and put him on the bench. Mikal Bridges just said, hey, nah, coach, don't put him in the game. Nah, that wasn't Mikal. Y'all try to put in Mikal in a position where he doesn't have the skill set for. We never see Mikal in Phoenix or any other stop in his career go and just straight be a bucket getter. Like, that's what you need as your number 1 option. That's not Mikal's fault. But on the flip side, Mikal, we are elated that you came across the water. Yes, you could cross that nasty ass Brooklyn off the front of your bridges and Manhattan bridges. Max, let's go. Now you can come over here.
That is nasty. That's nasty.
Now you could come back. Now you can come over here and get back to winning basketball. Yes, you could be a part of a team, a fold, get back with your brothers. Yeah, I mean, and make playoff pushes. While that team over across the water is still trying to figure out how they're going to make the playoffs next year. Yeah. How they going to do that? Or are they even trying to make the playoffs next year? Because from the outside looking in, it looked like y'all in complete rebuild mode right now. So that's what it looked like to me. So I don't know if y'all trying to make the playoffs. And Ray, he won't disappoint us because we don't expect him to do the things that y'all was expecting him to do. We don't need him to be a 20 plus per game scorer. We don't need him for that. We need him to be a solid 15 to 16 or 17, even 18 per game scorer. Play two-way basketball. He won't be even getting the toughest assignments every night once we re-sign OG Anunoby. He'll get the second toughest guy. There's no appointment coming my direction, only glory. And cheering and high fives and winning basketball playoff runs for the New York Knicks. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So don't listen to Big Fan Breezy. Mikal, we knew from day one where you wanted to be. We knew from day one where you wanted to be. He was the only one in denial. I told him from day one. He was like, nah, he had his time with those guys. He wanted to be in Brooklyn. He wanted to be in Brooklyn, prove on his own that he could do that. I said, nah. He wanted to come and play with his friends.
That's messed up, man.
He wasn't trying to hear me. He didn't want to try to hear me. I tried to tell y'all that.
I'm not wrong for believing in a guy who had an opportunity to actually compete. Like, again, to you, I'm not asking T-Time. Like, yeah, it's cool, right, to play with your friends. But in that situation, you don't see my perspective of him that's part of their friendship is that I run this team and I'm the man. Like, I'm really playing great basketball, making his team better the same way Jalen Brunson made the Knicks better. Like, he had the opportunity to do that. He did not do that. And I'm not saying that he said, yo, I'm begging to be the one guy. I'm saying, like, if you know you're not the one guy, tell a coach, like, yo, coach, I don't know if you know, but, I ain't really that guy.
Ain't no hooper.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no hooper in the NBA gonna turn down that opportunity. None. Zero.
No, I'm not saying don't come. So you saying that again, playing to your strength, to your point about he ain't gonna have to do that, which I know. Why that don't behoove him doing that here, saying, yo, let me just play to my strength and I don't have to be the number one scorer because that's not really what I do. That's what basically I was mad at. I'm mad at that fact. Because if you are the number one guy, you also have a voice. You also could be vocal enough to say, yo, you know what? This is what I think is best for the team. And I don't think that's what he did. Like you said, he's a hooper. He just did what a hooper would do, but he didn't do what was best for the team. Now he want to go over there and play with his friends and do what's like, fuck out of here. Now you on that type of time. Like, I'm not. But hold on, let me land the plane saying this. And I want to hear T-Time response to what I'm about to say right now. If it was never a rivalry, it's a rivalry now. The type of transaction with that trade with Mikal Bridges going to the Knicks makes this thing a rivalry, if it never was. And I'm going to say why in short soliloquy, because he didn't play with heart here. And I don't question him about that. We spread love in Brooklyn. How you going to spread love if you don't play with heart? I question his heart. He didn't play with no love here. Now he playing with Josh Hart. So now he got I'm tired of this dude, man. But do you believe that the Mikal Bridges trade increases the how you say the energy of the rivalry, or am I gassing it?
Before I get to that question, some other stuff you said that I wanted to address, and it was about Mikal. Telling the coach he's not the number one guy or whatever. That's the coach's job. That's literally the coach's job to put his players in the best position to be successful. His job is to draw up the game plan to go to his player's strength. And y'all had horrible coaches. So don't blame Mikal for not being put in the best position to be successful. That's the coach's job. That's the coach's schemes and game plans. You know what I mean? And is not a basketball player in the whole entire NBA, if given the chance to be like, hey, you're going to get the most shots a game, is going to be like, nah, I don't want that. Not one player in the whole entire NBA. I don't care who it is. There's nobody that's going to be like, yeah, don't give me the most shots on the team. Nah, I don't want that. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's the coach's job.
It made a bad lot of them. It made a
No,
bad locker room because he did that.
no, no. It's the
It
coaches
did.
going like, hey, this guy Cam Thomas is really a bucket for real. We gonna get you some shots, Mikal, but we gonna run the offense through this kid because this kid is a bona fide bucket. That's the coach's job, not McCall's. But anyway, to answer your question about does this fuel the rivalry, I don't know. I don't know if it intensifies the rivalry. To me, it doesn't. To me, it kind of kind of dims it down because to me, like y'all in complete rebuild mode. Y'all not in my eyes even a real threat right now. Unless y'all make some moves, I see the Nets on the schedule. I'm like W, W. That's what I'm writing all Nets game off next season. W, W. Unless y'all make some major moves, in my eyes, what rivalry? This is W's, bruh. W's. Let's go. I smell another one. I smell another one. Let's go. The Villanova Knicks. Let's go. But I do want to turn the attention to, the actual deal itself. You feel me? Like how you feel that your team did in what they received from Mikal.
I mean, I feel like getting bunged on. He's probably gonna be some type of trade package deal or whatever. We didn't get the first rounder from y'all this year, which I thought we was gonna do. But I don't think the player that we want, probably a Zach Edey, is gonna fall to whatever pick y'all got in the draft this year. So that's why I don't think it was on the table. But I did think they would go for it, but I imagine they didn't get it because of that reason. Other than that, mainly I really did want him off the team. I feel like he brung down the locker room because, I mean, I feel like he left Cam Johnson at the airport. Cam Johnson said, "Yo, what happens now? We in the airport and we in New York." He said, "Yo, Cam Johnson, I'm gonna see you when I see you." I think we were twins, but it's over. So I think he brought the morale down. So outside of the specifics of each draft pick, that's the one draft pick I was considering. All the other ones for me, semantics right now. But I do feel that Mikal Bridges not being on the team makes us a better team. Um, you got to get players that want to play here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that happens from the draft a lot of the times. I don't think Mikal Bridges ever wanted to play here. I'm reiterating my rant, but I'm saying the same thing in a different tone. I really don't feel like he embraced us, and that's because of his post-game interviews. That's because of the losses to the not just the Knicks. It just you could see when somebody plays like they care. That wasn't the synergy between our team with Mikal Bridges leading it or Jock Vaughn coaching it. So I understand why they're gone. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm glad he's off the team, bro. And I'm waiting for Cam Johnson to get traded too.
Yeah. I think like again, I said it. He wanted to be when he came to New York and he came to Brooklyn, he was like, damn, it's the wrong New York team that they traded me to. And
sad he felt that way, man.
And the thing is, I told y'all, like, when he first got here, he was hot. Given the opportunity that he was given, he was hot like that the second half of the season, and he had y'all hype. And I told y'all, I said, hey, it's different trying to do that 82 games when the league didn't really ever see you as a number one guy. And then they'll figure you out as the number one guy and then take away the things that you do well and force you to do other things, right? And I think that happened to him this season. And as far as the deal go, I'm happy. There's some Knicks fans that's a little bit worried about all the draft picks that we gave up. But in hindsight, we still got a shit ton of draft picks. We still got, I think the only year that we missed a first rounder is in 2027, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me, 2027, 2029 is the only years that we don't have a first round pick right now. But we still have our first round picks from this year. We got 2 first round picks in 2025. We got a first round pick still in 2026. 28, we still got how you doing? That's Mama Rampage. How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, Mama Rampage?
Yeah. But yeah, we did give up a lot of draft picks, but it didn't bankrupt us as far as first rounders go. We still got a nice amount of first round draft picks. But if you remember, when you were still in denial that the Knicks would be able to
obtain Mikal Bridges,
yeah, because you was on this whole. It wasn't the Knicks and Nets haven't made a trade in umpteenth years. It was like 50-something years or some shit like that. I don't know. Right? Well, no, not 50-something, but it was like 30-something years or something like that.
I'll be honest, so I was losing faith when I seen that podcast, bro. I was hurt as a Nets fan. That shit hurt me, bro.
So, and I was telling you, I said, hey, what's gonna get this deal done is Bogey and a shit ton of draft picks. I said Bogey or Alec Burke and a shit ton of draft picks. I'm not sure if you disagree with me or not, but I know this was said multiple times. Every time I got to talk about Mikal being traded to the Knicks, that was the offer that I was like, that's what's going to get it done. And literally, that's what got it done. I'm happy. We still are able to be active in the draft in the upcoming years, especially in the first round still, even though we gave you all those picks. It remains to be seen. Y'all doing what we did a couple years ago, which was started, stockpiling a shit ton of picks. I don't know if y'all really go into a rebuild or if y'all just stockpiling picks to, possibly trade for a superstar to get back into relevancy quicker. But it's a lot of draft picks. I got your draft picks back from Houston. I got a shit ton of draft picks from us. Like y'all sitting on a mountain of draft picks, and usually when that happens, that is for to be used for as a bargaining chip in trades. So we got to see. To me, I think it's a fair trade on both ends. I can't wait till Mikal come to the Barclays and wow y'all up.
No, bless you.
I can't thank you. I can't wait till he come to the Barclays and wow y'all up. To answer Ray real quick, bro. Listen, I got Big Fan Breeze tell you I got no shade for Cam Thomas. I like his game, but it's a lot of wing defenders over here, dog. Especially if we
what you mean? You got Mikal Bridges. That's it. Y'all don't got OG.
Oh, we gonna resign OG.
Y'all don't got OG.
Well, we gonna resign him. Don't worry about it.
But hold on, didn't he decline $19 million?
Yeah.
So how much y'all paying to pay him then?
Which is expected. I think he's probably going to end up making somewhere between 25 and 30. Probably somewhere between 25 and 30.
Y'all can afford to pay him that and get Hartenstein?
They said it becomes a little bit more difficult to keep Hartenstein if we sign OG. But that's going to be a bummer, but I'm not really upset. I do think Edie is going to fall to the 24th or the 25th pick. And if we can't resign Hartenstein, picking up Edie won't be a bad look. You know what I mean? It won't be a bad look at all.
Confident in getting Edie that far? What is the pick? 20 what? What's the exact pick?
I was just 24, 25. That's where he's projected. So we just
already dropped down, man. I already dropped down to 17th, 15th. He's shy of a lottery pick.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see.
Tonight.
So
covering that?
What?
The draft tonight? Covering?
Oh, hell no. I don't even know none of these players for real. So
you gonna tonight?
Nah. I don't know none of these players for real. So it's like me.
Okay.
I don't like talk about shit that I'm not abreast of. You feel me? Like, so yeah, I won't be covering. I got to do my research after everybody go where they go and see who these kids are that I feel like talking about. You know what I mean? But other than that, now I'm not covering it. But as far as I'm confident that we're going to re-sign OG. The front office is still very focused on bringing him back. And as far as Hartenstein go, I'm just holding out faith and hope that he said on the roommates podcast that he was going to take a pay cut to stay in on the Clippers because he liked it there and he liked the opportunities he was getting. I just hope that kind of still resonates with him here because he said very openly that he wants to be back and he likes the city, he likes his teammates. He loves the city, he loves his teammates, and he's very comfortable here. So we hoping that works. But to my point about us having all these wing defenders, because again, I am confident that we're going to get OG back. It's going to be tough for Cam coming to the Knicks, play the Knicks. It's a lot of people that we could throw at him. It's a lot of people.
You talking about two people?
Oh, and Deuce. You know what I mean? And Deuce is a lot of people. And Josh Hart. Like, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of defenders. It's a lot of defenders, dog.
I hear you. You don't play into the rivalry. I play into it, especially. And now I thought about OG and how OG tried to confront Cam Thomas in one of the last season's games. And Cam Thomas didn't back down. I think the rivalry is going to be electrifying. You know what I'm saying? I really do consider this going to be one of the better rivalries for years to come. Hopefully, it's not a sweep. Me personally, I would like to see them construct a roster to make it somewhat competitive. I heard Joe Sa on a podcast say, he felt the way about us missing the playoffs. So, case in point is, if that's how he felt, and he said his religion is winning. You know what I'm saying? I think, the best thing he could do is, make a move. And I think today they do. I don't think we sit on these draft picks. I think the 2020, the later draft picks, they, you know what I mean? They maneuver with some of those and, they try to get more of a player to pair up. My thing is, too, regardless of how good this draft is in 2025, I'm not tanking for one player. I'm gonna be for one to tell you, I'm not vlogging that way on my page. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, let's tank so we can get the best player in 2025. Cam Thomas, Day'Ron Sharpe, Nick Claxton, and Jalen Wilson is proof that Sean Marks knows how to draft without being in the top 5 pick. I think being in that draft is imperative, and I do feel like I want Sean Marks to be in it. I'm glad we got those draft picks, but I don't think it's necessary for us to tank so we could get a top 5 draft pick. I think we can be competitive and get a good pick based on the history of him being able to pick talent late in the draft. Now, if he was just getting trash players in the draft, then I'll say, yeah, tank. But for him to get Cam Thomas, who's my favorite player in the whole wide NBA, whole wide world, you know what I'm saying, in the whole NBA, I think that, he was 27th. That's the significance of my conversation. Day'Ron Sharpe was 29th. Nick Claxton, he was 30, he was 31, he was a second round pick. Jalen Wilson was 56, he was a second round pick. Noah Clowney, he was like in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Dariq Whitehead, he was like in the 20s too, like 2021, I believe. So I'm saying that to say that these are all talented players that we got. And again, they got these players as rookies. That's another thing that people don't understand either, that they would be sophomores in college this year if they never left in the draft. These are very young players. So we've been kind of rebuilding since last season. So, I could see they made strides for this season and kind of prepared for what they were going to do. It seemed like they, while the Nets were questioning their direction, it seemed like the direction was to go rebuild. But again, like I said, they gave Mikal Bridges the keys to see what he could do. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily what he does. He's not a guy that's going to, lead a team. So that being said, he had the opportunity and we only had 32 wins. this time I think they do have more. Cam Thomas being the number one guy. There's nothing that says that they're gonna get a player that's gonna be, I don't know, put Cam Thomas in the trade block or anything like that. You know what I mean? Everything points to Cam Thomas being the number one guy for this team and him being a franchise player, and whatever we do in that draft, it would still be Cam Thomas' team. I don't think that's smart to have a 4 or 5 year player. Cam Thomas would be time to re-sign him or not re-sign him for next season going into that draft, the same draft. So for us to get a player and now we just give him the keys, like, I think that's working backwards. I think you're sending the wrong message in the locker room. I think you're saying we don't believe in you guys if that's what you're doing. But you could say, you know what, we do believe in you guys. And I think that's what they're doing with Cam Thomas. And it works out in his favor. Them not re-signing Cam Thomas this season was important because they got him for one more season and they could be more flexible paying them when Ben Simmons is off the books, which again is next season. So things, things are in line, but you gotta, for lack of better terms, read the tea leaves. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually see, what I mean, what's going on. I pay a lot of attention to this team. I don't know if you guys know that, but that being said, if we re-sign Cam Thomas next season, and Clax too, you know what I mean? We got to do something with Clax, that because I think teams could talk to him as soon as June 30th. So today's the 26th, it's the day of the draft. So I imagine we take Claxton seriously and re-sign him. So yeah, I like the direction as far as the draft picks. I'm not really upset. I just don't want to have this tanking narrative. Like, I'm cool with that next season. I'm not. I want to see us be competitive, be in a playoff situation. Success for the Brooklyn Nets next season is, for our playoffs, at least reaching the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to get swept neither, but I don't want to be long-winded. But that's how I feel about it.
You know, this front office of the New York Knicks has been super impressive. Again, it's Leon Rose, he doesn't do interviews. He doesn't like talking to the media, but I always said that he said everything he needed to say in the first interview he ever did as the president of basketball operations for the New York Knicks. And all these things are coming to truth in front of your eyes. Like he said, in 4 to 5 years, we're going to be competitive and be in contender situation. I feel like we did. Barring all the injuries that we had this year, I think we would have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We were literally 1 win away from the Eastern Conference Finals. And he yet made another move that maybe not be the most splashiest of names out there, but is a culture fit. And that's important to how we built this team, is the culture, is how everybody attacks the game and play the game. And Mikal Bridges is a perfect fit for what we do. It's the and you got to give credit to Leon Rose. He said that we're going to remain financially flexible, and we're going to be aggressive in trade talks. I feel like we've done that. We gave, the report said we gave a decent package pause for Donovan Mitchell. Utah just declined it. Then we get another chance to get a play that we really want in Mikal Bridges, and we all those draft picks that we stockpiled over the last few years became useful. You know what I mean? It's sending Bogdan back to a place where he was drafted. You feel me? Like, and Big Fan Breezy trying to get rid of him already. Bogdan was drafted then. He like, yeah, we could use him for a trade piece. It's crazy. He was drafted then. First team he played for.
Bogey is nice. Play shooter for shooter. He's a better shooter than Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
trust me, it's an upgrade.
Yeah, but the front office has done a great job, man. It has done a great job, and moving forward, you talked about what success looked like for the Nets. Success looked like for the Knicks is Eastern Conference Finals or bust. You feel me? Like That's where we at right now. Especially if we bring back OG and Anobi, it's Eastern Conference Finals or bust. Uh, and I'm confident say that I got faith that, man, as if ever looking at how everything is right now, yeah, I mean, and me assuming that OG is going to be back in the Knick uniform, I think we run away with the East, man. I I don't like as is. I got no fear for Boston, no fear for them, none, zip zero. If we bring back the guys that we already have, including Mikal Bridges, we beat Boston in 6 games. Facts. You know what I mean? Facts. It's not really
I
facts. It's
don't.
my opinion. It's my opinion,
Yeah,
but facts. You feel me? It's
yeah.
facts.
I gotta see it happen. I don't know why y'all prioritize OG over Hartenstein, because Hartenstein, he makes Jalen Brunson that much better. I seen the pick and roll. I see what they do. I know how important the pick and roll is to the NBA offense and half court offense. And I don't see, and that again, it's a if y'all bring him back. Now, I agree. I don't see Hartenstein anywhere else, but you know, I, who am I to say? You know what I mean? I don't know what these players are going to do and not do, but if if that's a big if. Now, I do believe y'all had the money to sign OG. Um, but Hartenstein being on the move, that I think that's more possible than OG on the move. I just
Yeah,
think OG do want more money. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I think he knows, like you said, the whole soliloquy about how I think his agent and this and that, and they weren't getting along. Now they get along. I remember you saying that. So yeah, for
Uh,
them to do all of
so no,
that,
he fired his agent and hired
Mhm.
Leon Rose's son to become a Nick.
Okay, so
Like,
yeah, that. So yeah, I imagine y'all do what's right and sign him again. I just think he do want more money. But nah, Hartenstein, I don't know. I don't know his loyalty to the Knicks. You know what I mean? I know, but he's the essential piece, or if not more equal to OG in importance, and y'all actually getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because
listen,
I
don't
see disgruntled Mitch Robinson. I don't know how true that is,
that's
but
cap.
you know, I don't know if he wants to stay with the Knicks or not. I don't know what's happening.
How where did you see Mitchell Robinson is disgruntled? Where did you get that from?
I seen the quote on Facebook. I don't have a source really, but it looked like a quote. I don't know how valid this source was, but it was saying, it was in quotation marks, and it was saying he just tired of doing cardio. Like he seemed like
Oh,
I'm
oh yeah.
paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he
No,
said.
no, that what you talking about that old you talking about that old
How
quote.
old? How
Is
old?
mad old. This is like beginning of the season, and then Mitchell Robinson came out and denounced that. Like, I forgot exactly what he said, but he was like, I was just frustrated. Y'all reading too much into that shit. Like, and Mitchell Robinson asked to come off the bench when he came back from his injury. Like, so
Okay.
I don't know where disgruntled came from. I think he's more frustrated with the fact that he's hurt and the way he got hurt in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's frustrated with that. Uh and yeah, but Mitch ain't going nowhere, man. It's the longest tenured Nick. He's been here the longest on the whole entire team. He ain't going nowhere, man. And as far as Hartenstein goes, listen, don't get me to say that he's not a pivotal part of what we do. But in the case that we can't re-sign him, I think we still suffice. You got to remember, before Mitch Robinson got injured, he was the best offensive rebounder in the whole entire NBA, and on pace to be on an all defensive team and be a depoy candidate. And I mean, so like we can't forget about that. I think Hartenstein stays. I think he takes less money to stay. I mean, I think he takes less money to stay. I think he wants to win. And as far as making the offense easier for Jalen Brunson, that's that Hartenstein had to do that because the guy who really made offense easier for Jalen Brunson was hurt, which is Julius Randle. If you look at, I don't know, I don't got the numbers exactly off the top of my head, but the shooting splits from when Julius Randle plays and when he doesn't play for Jalen Brunson is tremendously different. He shoots a higher field goal percentage. He shoots a higher 3-point percentage. He turns over the ball less. Like everything. Like that's the most pivotal part. You feel me? I like Hartenstein. I want him back. I'm not saying all that to try to, diminish what Hartenstein did this season or who he is as a basketball player. I'm just saying that if for whatever reason that we can't re-sign him, I don't think it's going to be that detrimental. You know what I mean? But I do know if we re-sign him, that just makes us that much better. You feel me? So either way you want to slice it, we're going to give Boston the problem.
I mean,
and that's the only team I'm really worried about right now, as is right now.
I mean, I don't know. When I look at the East, it's hard to say that you're not going to be one of the better teams in the East. I look at it for what it is. Y'all are number 2 going into the playoffs. Probably going to be more of that. I don't see a strong Bucks team. I think they got the curse of just having a superstar with too much power. He got mad at Giannis got mad at Drew because he couldn't lock up Jimmy Butler, but you were supposed to be there to help. If you was there, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? You got hurt, and you tried to put it all on him the same way you got hurt, and then it was up to Dame Lillard. At least Drew Holiday was healthy enough to lose those games. The Dame Lillard didn't even finish. So you traded for a player. I don't. So I said that to say I don't think the Bucks are toggling between 1 and 2. I think it'd be the Knicks if I had to mention them. The same thing with the 76ers. I think they're in a pickle. Pause. You know what I mean? I think that Embiid is working way too hard to score his points. I think he's doing way too much. And Tobias, that was because Tobias Harris didn't hold his weight. Embiid was holding his weight and Tobias Harris' weight. They definitely not resigning him. So in my opinion, they got roster holes, pause, that they have to fix. And that would take them out of the 1 and 2 and toggling from 1 and 2 the next season too. So yeah, I can't disagree with that. So you pretty much got what you got the 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks, and then I think 5th seed was the Indiana Pacers. I don't think they toggle from 1 for 2. I think they're a pretty good team, but not enough to toggle 1 and 2. Then you got Orlando. I don't think they toggle 1 and 2. I think they're good, but I don't think they toggle to first 2 spots in the East.
I think they stay around between 4 and 6. That's where Orlando is going to stay.
Yeah, Miami, Atlanta. I don't think they're going to be toggling between 1 and 2 neither. You know what I'm saying? As from what I'm listening to myself, I really think that it might be a gap. Might be a tight record between. I won't get into that part. You know what I mean? We gonna be fighting for a play, you know what I mean, from what the roster look like now. But I don't think that we go into it. I don't think we go into the season with a situation where the other teams are pulling away from us. Wow, crazy. Orlando, Miami, maybe. I'm hearing a lot of things about Miami. I don't know how good they're gonna play. Atlanta, I don't know how good they're going to play. Chicago, I don't know how good they're going to play. I don't think the Eastern Conference is that good for these teams to be pulling away from the Brooklyn Nets like we don't have no chance at all. I think the top 2 teams are the Celtics and the Knicks. And then you got solid teams like Orlando and the Pacers. But other than that, bruh, I'm not that confident that there's going to be a strong 3 through 8. That 3 through 8 is going to be very close.
Yeah.
Shit, that 3 through 10 might be very close.
You know what gives me such confidence about next season for my team? When you look at it, right? Again, our bench started for a majority of these playoffs in the latter half of the season. When I say our bench, I'm talking about Josh Hart. I'm talking about Dante DiVincenzo, Precious Achua, Like these guys had to start. Yeah, I mean, Hartenstein, who started the season as a bench player. Yeah, I mean, like that's four people off that was started the season as bench players who took us to one game from the Eastern Conference Final. Now that's our bench. that's our bench. You feel me? So this is where I get my confidence from, and I don't worry. Like we just got to see what moves is going to be made. Obviously, it's too early to comment on what everybody's going to look like for the season to start. But we definitely gotta, if we looking at it as is, I'm not worried. Boston is the only people that I'm looking at like, yeah, they're a problem. The Sixers, yeah, they're not re-signing Tobias Harris. I heard they got some interest in whatchamacallit. I heard they got some interest in Paul George. That's a rumor, that's speculation around the league. But I don't see them as a threat. Miami, I think Jimmy Butler's better years are behind him. I think he's another guy that's up there. I think he's like 35 years old now. Yeah. So I think his better years are behind him as well. Like so I'm like the teams that were in Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton is not that guy. You know what I mean? He don't put no fear in my heart. He's not that guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I saw you post the J comment, and I know you wanted to talk about it. I do agree that Clax is out of here. He did say, no, that's cap. That's actually not facts. That's actually not facts. If you look when Julius Randle was in the rotation after the trade when we got OG Anunoby, this team was 14-4 in the month of January. That month we was number one in offensive rating, number one in defensive rating. So to say that we were better without Julius Randle, that's cap. If you watch the games and see all the effort Jalen Brunson had to put into actually scoring the basketball, you know what I mean? Oh, it was 12-2. Actually scoring the basketball, the effort that Brunson had to do, that's hard to sustain for a whole season. So to say that the team is way better with Julius Randle, another scoring option, another guy that can go and get his own bucket. You know what I mean? So yeah, that narrative is nasty that the team played better without Julius Randle. That's cap. We just was gritty and we gutted out a lot of wins. You feel me? Because if you remember when Julius Randle went down in the month of February, it was like the reverse opposite of what January was. We were like 2 games under 500 that month, and we had to figure out how to win games the gritty way and lean on our defense and lean on Jalen Brunson scoring 40 points every other night. And that, to me, that's not sustainable to win long term over the season.
I'm not debating that, but I forgot to say before the show started with me and you, before the even show started, I wanted to tell you, I did promise my son to take him to the park. I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Is how. But yeah, so I got 2 minutes. I'm gonna close out at 12:01. But the draft is happening. I just want to say I don't think that the Nets are done. I think that they continue to make moves today. Look for them to be active. This is the beginning, and we're gonna cover it later. I'm gonna recap it tonight, so stay tuned. But yeah, shout out to Tea Time, and also I wanted to say, fan games coming up soon. I'm trying to do individual fan games. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, link up. So, you know, that day that we link up at the park, I'm playing one game. You know what I mean? I ain't playing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games with y'all. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I might play 2. You know what I mean? So honestly, I'm looking for a Nets fan team. You know what I mean? So maybe like a 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. And y'all won't play a 1-on-1 with me before that. Link with me before that. You know what I mean? Unless I play that 1-on-1, because I know last time we played a game with 16 when I beat Kev. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just figured I'd put that out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout to
Yeah.
y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the park, man. It's a beautiful day. You know, enjoy the weather. We got a long time before the season start, but we gonna be here. We'll be back soon. Me and T Tom will be back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everybody that pulled up. If you didn't already, hit that like button. Sharing is always caring. And we're gonna holla at y'all. I don't know when, but we're gonna holla at y'all. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right, Playboy.